Alright, so here we are again. This is Moster. It is June 9th. I'm doing the June 10th crossword puzzle. For my brief Marin update, today is a date that does not fill me with a lot of happiness. I'm also having some pretty interesting times at work, and it'll be weird to see what happens with politics. Even if I could talk about it, most of anybody who's even listening to this in the first place has probably already skipped over it. Anyway, here we go for Thursday, and I will say that yes, I started and then realized that I hadn't started the recording, so I'm 11 whole seconds into the thing. Anyway, start of an encrypted web address is HTTPS. Go follower. Let's put fetch in and see if that's... No, fetch is not right because it's 5 letters. Oh, fish. Okay, hit the deck. Color me surprised. That's probably sarcastic, but again, it's a long one, so we'll come back to it. Everybody in German is something I should know, but I don't. So, is this Ninja Turtles or Renaissance Masters? Ninja or Mutant? Ninja. That is not Mutant Ninja Turtles, so let's try RENAISSANCE. Nope. Alright, well, it's something like that, so we'll get there in a minute. It could be something stupid like pizza lovers or whatever. Contractors figures an estimate. I mean, it could be something else, but we'll get to when we get there. Whatever beach in California. It's abbreviated California, so it might be abbreviated beach. But I don't know, because there's like a billion of them. Following, I don't know, at heel or on next or on deck, but those are all too long. More treasured is it rare? I don't think so. No, that's not enough. Dearer. Okay, counterpart of down, abbreviation. I don't know, that could be a lot of things. It's probably football. Polishing the chandelier. So that's another one of those things. And it's going to be something having to do with prop maintenance or something. So maybe we're looking at letters for the theme. Procrastinator's promise is soon. I was going to say I don't know, but I'm pretty confident. French cheese. I don't know anything about cheeses. Nail polish shades. I'm also telling my computer to
words they associate.
Go to sleep for a while, which is making me think of Oh Brother Where Art Thou? And the sirens. Go to sleep, you little baby. I had a crush on her, that woman. I should look her up. I don't remember her name. Anyway, nail polish shades. I don't know, that's way too vague. I'll throw pink in there to have something there. Day following hump day is Thursday. The entertainer is a rag, which is Scott Joplin piano music. Trace for 3 letters. I want to say something like bit, but I don't know. I don't know that, even though I'll be yelled at. I should know Moriarty's first name also. Exchange for a tenner. It's not 5s. So what else is a tenor? I guess it could be ones. I don't know. Yeah, it's another theme one. 3 letters. So it's not let's go. Let's run. I don't like that. Biological cavity orifice? No. Yeah. Roll on alternative is stick because it's talking about deodorant. Tuned in. Let's see. It's not watched. It could be heard, but that's kind of weird. It's probably something having to do with paying attention. Group with wands. I don't know. I'm tired of all this negative media. One of those. Legendary queen. I don't know enough about Tunisian queens. Consumers of audio and visual media only. So let's see if it's READER. That is probably correct. Snellic is probably slow. Comedian Richter. It's not Rick Goals. I'll get there eventually. Tessellated creatures. We're talking about geese. Let's find out. Okay, brought on, hired. These days. Equivalent. THERE. Just about? No, I can't. Oh, come back. Reason to avert one's eyes. PDA. Marsh birds. Could be any number of things. Herons, or I don't know. X. And XXX. Oh, that's an interesting question. Name that derives from the Hebrew word for earth. What is the Hebrew word for earth? So is it Adam? What's the S here? First one, I don't know. Another X there. I don't know about that. Most expensive spice in the world by weight. I do not know. Frequently. Tip off clue? I don't like that. Mala Miranda. I should know, but I don't. Don't know that. Per is each. Be a plural candidate is run. Up. I don't know. A little over 3 grains. Is that an ounce? No, I don't think so, because I'm pretty confident about rag. So we'll come back to that. Big name and rental cars. Hertz, Avis, Dollar, Alamo. 1 or 2 person vehicles in the Olympics. Luges. Source of latex. Some kind of tree. That was rubber. RUBBS. Okay, that's not a surprise that pink was wrong. RUBBER tree. Edie Falco. Hardens. Oh. And an ending of country name. Stan. That's a silly one. River that starts in Pittsburgh, Ohio. Finish some gift wrapping. I don't know, that's an interesting one. Word before black or blue and with a capital. Meager, scant, paltry, fits. Scarce, maybe, will come back. The only way to run away without leaving home. I don't know. Dream, see, think, dance. Well, I thought it was a choreographer. But it's 3 letters. So, I don't know. Maybe it's gin. Rudolph is Maya, which means that stick is wrong. That's fine. Carry on limit is 1. Bad. Apps audience is users. En masse. Quality control guidelines. Specs. Stats. I don't know. It's a weird one. Standards. STD. Hartman, that's Phil. Take 2 is redo. Unknown source is anon for anonymous. Make as one's way. I kind of want to say wend. Let's see what happens. Out of whack. It's stranded in a cell. RNA or DNA? I'm going to say RNA. Bobby Gentry's Ode to Billy Joe. Calling me surprised, I had no idea. Okay, everybody I'm still not too sure about. Leonardo is Renaissance something. Okay, still don't know that. Marshbirds is probably, I think it's Snipes. I don't know this. What's this? Let's go up here and look at this without fish. Wonder how much of this people can't hear because I mumble because I'm really talking to myself as much as anything. Anyway, let's leave that. Let's see here. This, I want to say Adam, but I also don't want to say Adam. So let's say that's Janet Reno because I know who that is. I still don't know what that whole nonsense is. Most expensive spice, I still don't know everybody. Renaissance. So let's make this Osiris, and then let's make this Pismo Beach. And now what does that do up here? I can only think of extremely raw things to put here that can't possibly be right. Well, this is Pismo, so let's fix that first of all. So now that is going to be Adam. What's this going to be? Oh, a kiss. Fine. But I still, that's an A-K-A-R-T for go-kart or tic-tac-toe, yes. Okay, still don't know. The Renaissance, following... something, counterpart of down, a abbreviation? I still don't know. Polishing the chandelier. Tantamount. That's interesting. So this then is musical chores? Let's find out, I guess. Okay, hardens sets then. Bit is probably right. Some nail polish nude. Frequently. Model Miranda. Like, I feel like it's Kerr or something. But I also don't. Act Up is the AIDS thing. A little over 3 grains is a carrot with a C. Probably. Ain't too proud to beg. So this is tie a bow for finishing gift wrapping. Word before black or blue. I should still know what but I don't. I guess that's James Moriarty. Yes, it is. Exchange for tenor is Abe's. That's interesting. No time to meager. The only way, so that's act. What's this? Entrum. I didn't know that one. That's interesting. AWARE, aware. The bad. This is DNA. News wars. I'm still not really sure what I'm doing with this pun, but whatever. Andy Richter is the comedian. No time to B, C, D. What's this? 2, E, F, G, H, I, J. Goes L, M, N, O, P, Q, sparse. No time to spose is not right. It's usually no time to spare. I don't know. Carry on limit, I'm really confident in. Jet black or jet blue. Well, that's a rat. Now let's eat Tybo. And we're back up here to the corner that I'm not doing well on. Frequently. Okay, let's put Miranda Kerr in. Renaissance. Following, I also don't know. Counterpart of down. AC. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. It's an abbreviation. Counterpart of down, out. Everybody's no Renaissance. Following after. Still don't know this. Saffron. So hit the sack. Okay. AFFRON. Well, I don't know ACR as a counterpart of down. Oh, cross diff, fine. Everybody frequently a lot. Right, spell check time. Clue. Curl, what's this? ALLE is probably right. Osiris, each, run, act up. Carrot is probably right. Alamo, luges. Rubber, tree is where latex comes from. Edie Falco. Sets. Stan or Ston. Ohio River. Tie a bow. Jet. Sparse. Act is probably right. Maya Rudolph. Carry unlimited 1 bag. Users en masse. Standards. What is this? Yeah, that's probably right. Phil Hartman. Take 2 is a redo. Unknown. Make as one's way. Unwhack awry. DNA. Ode. Okay. HTTPS. Go-kart. Hit the sack. I had no idea. Free vowel check. A-E-I-O-U. So back to E. Renaissance 4, like Renaissance Fair. Estimate. Pismo Beach. Following after. More treasure, dearer. Counterpart done across. Musical chores like musical chairs. Soon. Port. Salut. Act as well. Tharp. No, that's act up. But I have act somewhere else, so something is wrong. What's this? Biological cavity. So if this act is correct, ace? No. Let's go back here. The only way to run away without leaving home. No, it's Port Salut. Osiris, Carrot, Alamo, luges. Musical chores. ACR for a cross. I tried that. I like Act Up better, but I don't know what's wrong here. Art is what was wrong there. So there is the 32 minutes. Art is the way to leave home, not act. Okay, so that's that part of this. I don't know if I've already done all this, but HTTPS, that's, just what you see in a browser. Go-kart makes sense. Didn't get it the first time around. Hit the sack, like going to bed. I had no idea, for calling me surprised. Everybody, yeah. This is one of these ones where I wasn't sure what that last vowel was, and I usually give myself a pass on picking out vowels for things like foreign words. This also kind of intersects with that whole et al, et alia, and everything else that they do when they want to do bibliography abbreviations. So this one is Renaissance 4 instead of Renaissance Fair. Contractor's figure, EST is estimate. Pismo Beach, I guess, is the one they were looking for. It's weird because it has Calif instead of CA or California, but maybe that's a page height thing. Following is after, that's pretty straightforward. More treasure, dearer. Yeah, there were a couple of other things I was messing with here, but that makes a lot of sense. Counterpart of down is across, ACR. These are, again, musical chores as opposed to musical chairs. So that's what we're kind of seeing with the theme here, is they're changing that last sound from a long A to a long O. I haven't seen this is how well this all ties together, but again, I haven't actually touched every clue. So, procrastinator says soon. That is pretty straightforward. Not too sure about this cheese, but it fits everything, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time thinking about it. And salut is a French word. Nail polish shades nude. Okay. Thursday follows hump day because hump day is Wednesday. The entertainer is a rag, which is a kind of piano music that was invented by Scott Joplin. It has a lot of syncopated rhythms, and I tend to like it. I should probably try to find some on Pandora or something. Trace bit, I don't really like that because bit feels like more than trace to me, but it fits. Ain't too proud to beg. That took me a little while because of the ain't, but again, it makes sense. James Moriarty, I didn't know at first, but now I do know that that's correct. Exchange for a tenner is change. So I was thinking fives, but Abe's is another word for fives because Abraham Lincoln is on the $5 bill. Poorly planned invasion of the body snatchers. No time to spore, because that's what they did in the body snatchers, was they put spores around all the people. Let's eat. Not a lot to say there. Biological cavity antrim. Don't think I'd heard this one. I had entrim here for a while, but sparse makes a lot of sense on the down there. Roll-on alternative is spray. They're talking about deodorant. Tuned in is aware. That makes sense. TSA group with ones. That also makes sense. The bad news bores. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Dido is the legendary queen. That also makes sense. Non-readers. Snail-like slow. But whatever. It's Tuesday, Wednesday. Andy Richter. He's the guy with Conan. And Geese. I remember that extra poster. So, well, what happened here? We want to be doing this. So, brought on, hired. Yes, pretty straightforward, I think. These days is one of those things. Tant, amount for equivalent. It's an interesting usage of it, but I guess it makes sense. I normally hear it as part of a hyperbolic example about something. PDA, public display of affection. Marsh birds or snipes. That's a kind of marsh bird. Kiss for one of these X's. Adam comes from Earth. Yes, and I validated that with my 15 words of remaining Hebrew. It's kind of fucking disgusting, but Janet Reno is the first female attorney general in the U.S., and that was within my lifetime, so that's kind of fucking disgusting. Another X here, tack. This is talking about tic-tac-toe. Most expensive spice, saffron. Makes sense. I wouldn't have guessed it. I didn't try to fill it in until the very end, and the connection that I had for filling it in was as much about Ab Fab as it was about Saffron. Frequently a lot, yes, makes sense. Tip off, clue, clue in, whatever. Miranda Kerr, again, that was one where I really wasn't sure what the vowel was, but they took it, so there you go. We did all these. So, Osiris, god depicted wearing ostrich feathers. Yes, it's a god. It's a god with wings. Reminds me of Hedvig when the guy says the Cyrus. What's his name? Tommy Gnosis, which ought to be a clue in the crossword sooner or later. Anyway, per each, that's pretty straightforward. I hope, anyway. Be a political candidate run, yes. ACT UP was the political group. I had a lot of struggle, if you've been paying attention for the past however many minutes, because I had ACT in both the, 24 and 43 down spaces, but art makes a lot more sense. And we'll get there shortly. So a little over 3 grains. Carat, yes, that's a unit of weight. I'm surprised it's a C, not a K, but say la vie. Alamo is a rental car company. Luges, that makes sense that they have both. I didn't know that, but it makes sense. Source of latex, rubber tree. I did kind of know that. I thought we had synthesized it by now, but I guess not. Edie Falco is Edie Falco. Hardens is sets, like when you leave concrete out or something like that. Stan or Stan ends country names. Sure, that's all that pre or post USSR shit. The Ohio River starts in Pittsburgh. That's a guess, but it fits. So yes, finish some gift wrapping, tie a bow. That's pretty straightforward. Jet blue or jet black. I've heard that before. Sparse for meager. I don't really like that, but it's adequate for what it's trying to do. Art, this one we kind of already talked about. I was thinking of Twyla Tharp more on the choreography side, but you can twist that around so that you're calling dance art, which it is. Maya Rudolph, 1 bag carry-on limit, that's pretty common. Users use apps and rate it and everything on mass means all at the same time. Quality control guidelines, that's standards, STDs. That's Phil Hartman, who voiced that one character. Take 2 is redo. Anon is, a word for anonymous. Wend is, again, pretty simple, like you wind your way around on a horizontal surface to get where you're trying to go. Awry means, out of whack. DNA, I wasn't sure if this was DNA or RNA, but DNA fits better, so that's all good. And Ode to Billie Jean. Pretty straightforward. So that's that for this one. I'm going to stop this now. We'll see how this all ends up coming out when